Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. I just want to get back to you to say I'm a little slow on the uptake as far as getting these videos out. I've had a little bit of a setback, not major, but enough to be an issue. I've had a knee replacement, and normally I would be publishing almost every 3 days or close to that. And I'm a little slower these days. I planned ahead, but things, like everything else, doesn't always go your way. I'm recouping. I'm starting to get around, but I need to go for therapy and what have you. But I still will be publishing, and we're going to try to finish the wren here very soon. I just want to give you a heads up where I'm at, and we're going to continue on with the painting. I'm probably going to do it in a few parts so that you have it in segments here, but I will continue. And one thing I'm going to ask you, if you could give me a thumbs up on all this, and if you could subscribe to my channel, or if you can even pass the word out there to other people that may have an interest in carving, I would gladly appreciate it, because I'm trying to grow the channel, and it's been a slow process, besides me being slow anyway too. But I would appreciate it if you have any friends or people that may be interested, or groups and stuff like that, and they looking for lessons on how to do birds. And I'm probably going to do an animal down the road here again. And but I'm going to follow up right behind this one and take you down with the camera and give you the rest of the video for or painting, but it's going to be in a few segments. So bear with me with this, and bear with me. I'm finally getting, I guess, my legs under me, as you would put it. And like I said, if you could help me out with subscriptions, as far as anybody that may be interested, that would be great. I'd really appreciate it. And give me a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, or just not sure of things and I didn't make it clear, definitely contact me, okay? And ask me questions. That's what I'm here for, trying to make the road a little easier. I don't know if I confuse you at times, but let me know that too, okay? So we're going to continue on. So I'm going to move the camera down, and we will get you going. Bye. Okay, we're back again. Hopefully the technical difficulties with electric is fixed. I got another hair dryer. I don't know why that was being blown, but here we go again. I'm going to go in, stir up your burnt sienna again. This is the second coat we're putting on here now. So I'm going to apply this on here between the brow. I'm going to come in on the back side here and pull that this way through there. I'm going to come over here. Let me charge my brush up because I'm starting to lose color. I'm coming back, and I'm going to do all of these all the way down to the last 3 rows that I'm not doing. Then I'm going to do this side. And again, I'm staying behind the eye and coming forward here, or I should say coming back. Do this grouping right in here. Again, I don't want to do the last 3 bars of the wing. So I'm going to do this coming down, right to there, right to there, come into here. Make sure you got it in between here and under the feathers. Okay. Now we're going to do the tail just in the front. Okay. Like so. Now, I hope you got to see all that because I tend to move around. So that's coated with 2 good coats of the burnt sienna. So here we go. Like I said, I got a new hair dryer. Hopefully this won't blow it. I got a fuse protector type setup, and I guess this draws a lot of power sometimes. He decides to trigger that off once in a while. So I make sure I get all of this dry now. This is important. So we had basically 2 coats of the raw sienna and then 2 coats of the burnt sienna. You did not use the burnt sienna on the back of the tail, just the raw. Okay? Now, here's what I want to do. I think we're pretty dry now. So I'm going to come in. Let me rinse this brush out. And that's one thing you should always do. After you've used your brush, rinse it out, spin it around so you get a nice point. And if it dries that way, you'll have a nice point that it'll always go to. Here's one. It's a thinner one. I'm going to come in again. I'm using the raw sienna, and I'm going to come in to the front end of here, and I'm going to drag that back in the cheek area. If you noticed, I got some didn't mean to do that again, of this raw sienna down into the, what I call the throat area, and I'm going to clean that up in a minute here. I'm just trying to show you. Now this is a little bit denser raw sienna that I had here, and I'm coming through the front end here, just like this. Okay, and I just wanted to enhance that. While you're doing that, because we'll probably dry it, I'm going to ask you to come along and then paint the beak, just the beak, with the same color. Okay, I grab that. And it'll start grabbing now. Let me spin this around. Right in there. Okay, so get some color into the beak. So now what I'm going to do, just so we don't lose anything or put our fingers in anything, I'm just going to come in here and slowly, with the hair dryer setting on low, just dry that so it's thoroughly dry, okay? And then we're gonna have one other step. We're gonna come in right here shortly. I'll show you that. I think we got that pretty dry now. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time on the beak, just again with the raw sienna. I hope you're seeing this. Oh, I'm not drifting. Okay, and then I'll do it one more time here. I'm going to come in the real sienna, just actually forward towards the beak area on the eye, okay? From up to the eye, I should say. And just in that cheek area, in this area, but you're just doing up to the eye, but not past that, okay? So while that is drying, I'm going to let that just air dry for a moment. I'm going to clean my brush. Now from the paint we were using on the last couple, I think my white, let me make sure my brush has got all the paint out. I'm going to come back in with the white. This has been sitting for a while, but remember I said I had this plastic bag that I had it in, and it will preserve it for a while, so you can utilize that and not throw away all your paints all the time. And if you're doing more than one bird or something like that, you can paint several birds with the amount of paint you got here. So I'm picking up that paint, and I'm going to come back in, and here's where I'm going to use my optivisors again, which helps me stay within an area because I can see it better. And I'm going to come in and paint that white right through that eye area there. Okay, like that. And I'm dragging it back a little bit more, but it's going to get really thin, see? And you can see the beak. The beak is really damp, and that's okay. And I'm going to pick up some more of the white, which is really like a concentrate now because it's been sitting for a while and it lost some of its moisture. So it will coat heavier, and that's a good thing. And there's that one. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to do is I need to get, I think what we'll do is I'm going to do one more step on this video and then show you the wash to put on top of this. So again, I'll reiterate just so we know what we're talking about. We have raw sienna, two different ones. This is the heavier. This is the more watered down one. I put the watered down one first. Then on the second coat, I used the heavier one and it's not real heavy. It's really both watered down. They are considered washes. And I put a second one on. Then I went with the burnt sienna, which is the more of the redder one. And I don't do the beak with it, but I've done between the brows, all the way down, up into the tail, and also did from the eyes back, okay? And then I do all the wings, just like I did with the raw sienna in here, except for the last 3 bars, okay, or feathers on there. And then I came up into here, and over here I did just raw on 2 coats there, okay? So that's what you should have. And then I enhanced the white here. We may go back in and enhance the black, but we'll do that as a last step. We may even go back and do the white again just to make sure it pops. And I'll show you when to do that too. But for the next stage now, what I want to do is put a wash completely on this of, it's burnt umber. Let's see. We have the burnt umber here somewhere. There we go. Burnt umber. And I'm just getting maybe a piece, not a pea size, but maybe a beebee size. And I'm not gonna, just going to put maybe a quarter of a cup of water in there and mix that really good. And again, you want to make sure that most of the paint is dissolved, because if it isn't, it's going to start streaking. And what we're doing is we're just putting washes on. It's a buildup to get that look. And at the same time, the burning that we did is going to show through. And that's what we're trying to do. We don't want to lose what we have in this area here where it looks like we have feathers, okay? That is going to be part of what we want to preserve and make it look like feathers. Okay, so now I have this pretty well mixed. Let's see a little bit. I'm going to get this, stir that up real good, dab it out so you can see what I'm trying to go after. Okay, I'm going to hold the beak now. Now, here we go. I'm going to start from the front between the two brows. I'm going to come in and notice I'm not flooding this area. I'm doing between the two brows. I'm coming down and I'm going to come back and do right around here, right around the back of the cheek. I'm going to come down into here, coming down, get my feathers down here. And if you get some of this on those last three wing feathers, don't worry about it. We'll touch them up too. So I'm painting this right on back. Okay, and this will darken it up more. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're going to put this on. And some wrens have a more brownish look. Some of them have a lighter look. I'm trying to get like an in-betweener here. I'm trying to keep it like a little bit more on the reddish side. That's me. And you can also keep it on the browner side if you want it darker. It's just a matter of how dark do you want to get it. And I don't like to keep them real dark. I feel as though they are bright in some areas and darker in others, and I think they're a pretty bird when they're more on the reddish side. So they vary a little bit, and of course I vary it a little bit too. So that's your prerogative on that, and you're not going to hurt anything. So there's one coat. So I'm going to switch hands here, get my dryer, and again I've done between the brows, the back of the cheek, into the feather area, except for the last three wing feathers at the end here. And I went into the tail. And I want to make sure everything's dry, okay? I hope you can see that. I apologize if I drifted away a little bit. Okay, let's try that. Now, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just hold these last two bars here, or three bars. Grab my burnt umber. I'm going to come through here again. I'm doing right around the back end of the cheek, coming down into my wings, feathers. Okay, they're getting a little darker each time. I'm coming over here, just around the back of the cheek, coming down here, right up there, all the way down to here, and there, getting into this area. Again, I don't want to come on so heavy with the paint that it starts running. You don't want that at all. You want to make sure, if you got too much paint on, you just dab it off, you know, but you don't want to do that too much. You should just learn to just get so much, take it off, and then apply, okay? And that looks starting to come on pretty good. It's getting a little darker, and I got something on there. Some dirt or something. Let me get that out of there. Okay, I'm going to dry this again, and then we may do one more coat. I think I did it again. All right, bear with me again. I'm going to hold you up, and I'm going to bring it back in a minute. Stay with me. Okay, really having my electrical problems these days. So here we go. We're going with, I believe this is the third wash, and we're coming through between the two brows here. Okay. And I'm getting that in there. Pretty good. Coming down the back here. Just coming around the back of the brow and the back end of this cheek. Okay. Then I'm moving down to darken this some more. Again, I'm going to hold the bottom area so I don't get my fingers into the paint. This will start darkening it more. I'm getting down to the last three. I'm not painting. And get a little bit more. And if this doesn't come for you right away to this color, and this is what I'm trying to get you to, you have to mix it and play with it a little bit to get the paint color the way you want it. And I'm trying to get you to a certain color, and that's what I'm trying to get you to achieve. Now, some of you, when you go to mix it, may not get it right, you know, and so if you use lighter washes, you may have to put another wash in there, you know, another coating, and dry it in between. It's important not to put your fingers on the paint, because it will pick it right up, yeah. And then if you scrub, if you notice I go in one direction, if you keep scrubbing, your brush acts as a sponge. So when you're painting, you get so much on your brush, you can take the excess off right here at the cup, and then you just apply. And I go in one direction. And I rarely, only maybe on the first coat do I go back and forth to get into all the nooks and crannies so you don't have any white. But you don't want to scrub that afterwards. You're just going in one direction, and that is about where we want to be, okay? So for this much, that's where we want to be. I hope you can see that real well, and that's the color we're trying to achieve. We're going to lighten some up, and we may even darken a little bit more, but this is where we're at. The beak is getting close to where we want it. We will do a little bit more on that. And then in the bar area, I'll show you that. On the next video, we will do the rump, the breast area, and in areas where we got paint that shouldn't have been in there at the time, you can come back with the white and touch it up, okay? And I'll show you. I'll do a little quick fix here just to show you that even though this is wet, I'm in the dry area here. I'm going to get the smaller brush. I'm going to go into the white over here, stir that up a little bit, and then I can capture it just by going back in there. Ooh, maybe a little too strong. Let me just rinse my brush out, and then I just move that like that. With just a little bit water, I can dull it down. Okay. And bring that whole thing right back to where it was before. Now that white will fade. And if some of this didn't get white enough in this area here, we can come in. I'll charge my brush up again. Get into here. And we can touch that up. As long as I don't get my fingers in the way. And stay within the middle of that brow, like that, okay? And this side doesn't look too bad neither. So I will just come in and enhance that just a little bit. It gets thin at the end here. So you need a good pointed brush, okay? So, hope you got something out of this one. If you did, I'd ask you to give me a thumbs up. We're getting very close to wrapping up this bird. We'll be doing the breast area. And like I said, we'll be doing the breast area. We'll do a little bit more on the cheek. We got to do some markings in here. We're going to highlight some of the white that's down in these bars that we've been playing with, and we may even highlight the black again so it stands out. But we're getting very close to where this bird should be. So I, again, hope you got something out of it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel, that would greatly help me too. And I'll see you on the next video, and we may just wrap it up as far as the painting of the bird itself, okay? We're getting real close at this stage of the game, and it's starting to look pretty good. I'm seeing a couple of spots in here where it may have to get a little darker, but I'll make suggestions as we go, because everything doesn't always come out 100%, and you got to play with the washes because they could be too thick or too heavy. You got to play with that. That's something, it's a learning process, but you could see me doing it here. And this is, most of the washes I have here are very watery. When I pick this up and I touch a paper towel in a dry area here, see, it doesn't run that much, okay? And it's not, the color isn't that strong. If I go to this one, it's been a little heavier. The color may come out stronger, okay? And that goes for the rest of them too, okay? So just want to let you know that, yeah, you have to find that happy medium to where things should be. And it doesn't always happen right away. I try to give you like pea size or a BB size of paint to water, like maybe half a cup of water. That's important. And you don't want to slosh it on, you know, like with a big brush, and then you got water running all over. You do it in increments. The first wash, you could sort of scrub it in if you have a problem where you're trying to get in and around everything on your bird. But after that, it's all straight back. You don't overwash it. And remember, if you start doing this effect, you can actually pick up the paint like a sponge and take paint off rather than put it on. So follow me on that, if you will, just straight back, and watch me as I do it. And that is the procedure on how you want to do it, okay? So this is where we're at right now, and hope everybody got something out of it. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.